Hey guys, welcome to my backyard here in Gilbert, Arizona. And today I'm going to go ahead and take you through setting up the kite, getting the kite properly prepared for deployment. All this is based on my instructor's training, what he showed me. I'm not an instructor, so there's my disclaimer for you. Go ahead and take it for what it's worth, but I thought he had a lot of really good tips that made sense in the setting up of the kite to prevent it from blowing away on you, chasing it down the beach, little things that I guess come with years and years of experience. So I'm going to share that with you today, so hang on, and thanks for joining. All right, so first things first, liquid force pump comes with a really cool little lanyard here. This is important, so don't forget this. Serves two purposes. One, it allows you to click onto the fasten to the kite, so this way when you're filling up your kite, pull the tension out of it as it inflates. Strong winds on the beach won't blow away on you, or if it does start to blow on you for some reason, it doesn't go ahead and continue to roll down the beach, right, and get involved in somebody else's lines or get involved in somebody else's sun tanning that's going on, because it starts kicking up sand. You're probably going to be the most hated person right then and there, especially after somebody just put on a bunch of suntan lotion. So that's what that serves that purpose for. The other reason is when you're done pumping up this, you want to fasten it back down, right, to keep this pump down. There's a silicone lubricant on here, and it's an oil. So what we have to worry about here is two things. A, sand, is going to attract to it. It's going to get all over it. It'll get grainy, wear down with time. But also oil getting on your kite, getting on your gear. It's just messy, right? Excuse me, I got the hiccups. It just gets messy. So you're going to want to go ahead and fasten that down, lock it down when you're done. But while you're using it and you're inflating, go ahead and secure it right on there. The one-way valve, right? That's where this end is going to connect to. Cool. Another tip he told me. This is going on the beach. This is getting sand in it. It's getting all kinds of junk, grit, grime, whatever in it. We don't want to inflate that into our leading edge of our kite. So he said, go ahead, give it a pump or two, blow anything that may have gotten in the hose out, and then go ahead and fasten it. Again, that's a really just good sense and a great tip. So now we're ready, we have it secured. We're going to go ahead and begin pumping. This particular pump is designed to inflate on the way down and on the way up. So air is going in as I go down and up. You'll also notice that I didn't roll out the kite. I left it pretty much folded up, and that's going to prevent the wind in its deflated state from catching underneath it and again flipping over, rolling out. It's got enough weight on it with some light wind that it won't go anywhere. As we inflate it, the leading edge should start flipping out, if you will. You'll see that here. Give it a little nudge if you want. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and continue to pump it up until about 7 pounds. So it feels like a volleyball, right? Another cool tip. these gauges on the top of the pumps, they do eventually fail or become inaccurate. So everything is about feel. You should feel it. It should feel like a volleyball that's inflated. See what's happening over here? His strut is filled. This one's not. Check these little valves. Boom. See that? You got these little valves here. If they're pinched or crimped, they're not going to want to inflate. So keep an eye on that. It'll save you a lot of time because you'll see it go pop and pop and pop and pop. Nothing's going to inflate. You're going to wonder what the hell's happening. Oh, great. We're at 7 pounds. Secured that. Pop that right off. There's a little Velcro valve here, or top. Oops. Get it back on. Boom. And we've just inflated our kite. Move this to the side. Hang in there with me. Now the instructor told me the proper way to flip this over is going to be to grab one side from the bottom, one side from the top. This way you have control of it, right? I got my lights up here, so it's kind of a pain in the neck. Let's see if we can get this flipped, even though I have my outside lights on. Up. On the beach. That would have been a lot easier if I didn't have my lights up. Or in my backyard. Obviously you can see how big the kite expands to. Alright. That's all happy. Alright guys, so what we got here is the kite is now flipped over. Had to fight with it a little bit with my dang lights. But we got it flipped over. What we have here is some weights. Just anything. If I was on the beach, we'll use some sand. People will always use sand on the beach, right? To weigh your kite down. Keep it in place while you start focusing on your bars and setting up all your rigging to all the bridles and getting these lines squared away. So let's look at the bars. I'm going to be hitting that thing too a little later as soon as it gets dark. Getting that nice bar. This is my liquid force bars. The way my instructor told me to wrap it, how he told me to wrap it, is why that looks so clean and so neat. I'm going to show you that, go over that here as well. So, let's get into that. So here are the liquid force bars. Wrapping it. You'll notice that this just came off. I took it off. But it's a little band. They're in the bottom of these little sausage-like guidelines, if you will. But they snap right back in. That's how to keep your lines all neat. I wrap it up with a figure 8 pattern. Keeps the lines clean, nice and tight. So what we're just going to do, we're not even going to worry about anything other than getting this line unwound. All right. can see how long these lines are. All right. What I'm going to show you here is basically how to get these lines set up. Right when your red is on the left. When you're flying the kite and it's in the air, red is going to be on the left here. But since we have the kite upside down, red is on the right in this situation for setup. We're going to identify the flag line. Those are your two main lines that go to the center of your kite. And these are your outside edges. There's different ways to do this. Some folks will grab these two lines and run them all the way down, chase them down. Others will grab all four of them. I was taught to grab all four. So we'll just go ahead, slip them right here between the two fingers, scoop up the black line in your thumb and the red in between your pinky. So if we hold this all the way down and we don't separate our fingers, our lines, as you can see, are going to be correctly placed. See? And we go ahead and we grab the front and just extend your arm out. So this way you can follow the line. You see how it's unbraiding like this? If we keep it out in front of us, we don't have to run up and down the beach. We just go one time. Boom, 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 all the way down. Then we'll turn around and we can see that we're holding our lines. I'll release the right one. I'll go there. Next one. And the other one. To the other side. So now we got all four lines in the proper order. Okay. This is the good part, right? So we have all our lines run down, set up to be fastened. So we're going to go ahead. I start typically with let's start with the right, or the front left when it's flipped over. So they got these little loops. Everybody says they're kook proof. I get it. The big point that they're making here is that when you look at your line, it's going to have 3 different knots in it. This knot and this loop go together. That's how you know that line is right. If I tried to connect this line to the center right, what's going to happen is I'm going to be met by 2 loops. So this is going to say, hey, this should cause you to think, well, wait a second, I don't have a knot here. I have the wrong line. Because the line should receive, the loop should receive a knot. I thought that was pretty slick, the way they think about that. And you're going to make a hangman's noose or a loop. I'm sure there's different names for it. But basically, we're just sliding the loop itself. Just slide it over the line. Pull it in, right? Then go ahead and position. I put mine on the middle knot. This gives me, for training purposes, for being new, gives me the amount of control that I think I need. I think this is a good place to start. If anybody's got a better idea, let me know in the comments. But from what I understand, if I was to put it on the bottom one, I would have less sensitive steering. If I put it on the top one, I'm going to have really aggressive steering. So I figure I'll just stay right in the middle. So now we'll go to the next line, and again, you can see that one had a loop. This one has a knot. So we're just gonna go ahead, create that hangman's noose. There we go, come on. Right over it. And we'll just go ahead and cinch that down. The idea behind it is, as pressure gets put on this line, that loop will constrict, tighten around itself, and it's not going anywhere, which is great. We also want to make sure all our lines, bridle, everything in here isn't twisted. So if you look at all these lines here, they're all nice and symmetrical. Nothing's hung up, tied up, crossed over, anything funky, because that'll cause your kite to be erratic. Moving on to the other side, you'll notice that one side was black. They color coded them for you. Pretty smart. And again, I have my loop, my knot, cinch it down. It's happy. Again, my lines, nothing's tangled. We're ready there. Again, other side was black. This is red. So you have clues, right? This through. And again, I'm going to make sure I put it on the middle knot, so I don't have any inconsistency when it's in the air. Cinch down. That's good. That looks happy. I just been told to leave everything at the manufacturer's settings, but this can all be adjusted as your experience level, I would assume, gets better. Just gonna check this side again. Yep, that was happy. I'm not gonna go all the way back to my bar because my property is too small. But you can see how they're all securely fastened, ready to go. Okay guys, let me show you this loop again. I was looking at some of the video and some of my hand movements were out of the screen. So I want to just re-emphasize, here's this loop. Go ahead and slide the line up, right? Slide the line up right through the loop. Not a whole lot of magic to it, but I know it can be frustrating when you're watching a video and you're like, wait, show me that again. I can't stinking see it. So that's how that works. So when we created that loop, all I had done was slip this on through and then cinched it down over itself. Hopefully that, for those that wanted to see that again or didn't understand it, that helps you. All right, now that we have the kite lines attached, that all looks nice and happy. We're going to go ahead and pick up our control bar. First thing we want to do is connect our safety system. This, in essence, is really an ejection system. If things start going horribly wrong, you can go ahead and pull on this. It'll release, it'll pull this main flag line, and basically just let the kite fall out of the sky, right into the water. You're safe. That is used for the worst case scenario. We're going to do like a pre-flight check, if you will. This chicken loop right here, we're going to go ahead and just pull on this. So if things get crazy, flying your kite, having a grand old time, whoa, you know, gust of wind, something starts happening you're not comfortable with, go ahead and just pop it. Release. Let it go. What happens here is this chicken loop just lets go, comes off your harness, takes the air out of the kite. Click it down. You want to do that twice. My instructor said do that twice before you ever connect. Do that twice. Make sure that the safety system is actually working. again. Put it back in. As you can see, locks back down. Nice. Okay. This is a, basically it'll secure your chicken loop so it doesn't fall out. We're not going to talk about taking off today and launching the kite today. I'll wait till we get into a field. But we don't ever want to secure any of that when we're getting ready to launch. We want to go ahead and just kind of hold on to it as we get into position for several reasons. But we'll cover that next time I take you out to the to a big park where we're actually flying it around. Been out there a couple times. 2 days ago, I believe it was, we had some really nice wind out here, probably about 18 to 20 miles an hour. Went out to the park with my neighbor, younger kid, had an absolute blast. Actually pulled us off the ground a couple times, making some aggressive turns and going through that power zone, unintentionally, but scared the bejesus out of me. I feel better on water, I think, because the ground is a lot harder, obviously, than water, but I'm just trying to go ahead and get control down on the kite, learn that kite, start walking it around the wind window, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. I just don't want to look like a complete knucklehead when I take you out there. So hang in there, and we're gonna learn some really great stuff. All right, the harness that I have on. This is a full seat harness, right? They have harnesses that come, you know, around your waist, if you will, just your waist. This one comes around your buttocks. It's got two straps that you'll step into. I really think I feel comfortable in this. As a beginner, I think I'm going to do a lot wrong, and my stance is going to be wrong on the board. My stance is going to be doing what I think they call the poop stance, where people are like, oh, pooping through the water. That'll be me. If I had a harness on that was just a waist harness, I have a feeling it would ride up, right, around my chest, and I'd get all out of whack. I don't know, that's an assumption on my part, which is why I just said, you know what, let me pick this harness. It comes across with these straps really nicely. It just kind of gives me some mess up room, right? I'm messing it up. I'm not doing it right. I think there'll be a little bit of forgiveness in here with this type of harness. So, and it's something I can grow into. Either way, and I can share it with other folks. It's an extra large, putting on some weight, getting fat and happy around here. So, other folks that I know that are larger, they can use this harness as well. But eventually, I'll probably wind up buying a waist harness and see how that works. But first things first, I'm just going to pop this off here, get out of this harness. Pretty simple. Step right out. Happy. It's a Mystic harness. Got a cool handle on the back here for training, so things start getting out of control, you're with a friend. Hey, hold me down. We're going to go ahead now, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up all these cables. Best way that I was taught was to go ahead and grab these. I'm going to grab all your lines. Let the chicken loop just kind of relax right there. And what we have is a little groove right on the bottom and the top for our wires, for our cables to sit in, our lines to sit in. I guess that's probably the better term, lines. And if you just hold them nice, and try this again. This chicken loop was in my way. Alright, stop laughing. Okay, I think you could probably see this pretty good. I'm going to go ahead, I got him through the bottom here. I'm going to come up and over, nice and tight. and then I'm going to do a figure 8. I'm going to come on the other side of this depower. There we go. And then back on the opposite side. Can you see that? Let me turn around here. Maybe you can see it better this way. One side, opposite side. One side, opposite side. Getting tangled. Okay. This is a true pain in the neck because I'm in my backyard, so my lines are definitely all messed up. And we just keep doing this. You don't have to walk up and down and go to it. Just stand in place. Another great tip, you can tell that I haven't broken down the kite yet, right? That's just secure on the beach, weighted with sand. That's fine. If I focused my attention on the kite and breaking that down and left my bars way down beach, it's hard to see these lines and very, very easy to forget about them. So I was told, deal with your bars, deal with that gear, deal with your lines first. So this way, once you get the kite packed up, you don't walk off without a set of $500 bars. Okay, so now we're at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this. If you can see this, I'm just going to wrap it over itself. Some of these lines are obviously shorter than others. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab some of this other line and just tuck it in. No big deal. No rhyme or reason. Just tuck it in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this lanyard and then secure it around the outside. Do the same on the other side with the other lanyard. Ow. Okay. It's happy. So now you can see we have our gear put away nicely. Was also told when you get out of the ocean, salt water, throw this in your bathtub, rinse it out, something along those lines. Wash it off with a hose, take care of your gear, get the salt off it. Don't throw it in that spa because there's a bunch of chlorine. Don't throw it in your pool because it's got a bunch of chlorine. So fresh water, let it soak if you want in your tub for a little bit. Wash it off with a garden hose. It'll keep the longevity in your equipment. These lines alone are, from what I understand, about $200 just for replacement lines. So take care of your gear, unless you got deep pockets and long money. But take care of your gear is the bottom line. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Appreciate it. Bye.